is a nearly 80% increase in the number of seniors experiencing hunger in America between 2001 and 2010. Is that right?
Sure, absolutely. You know, one of the things we have to think about is the healthcare implications of hunger. You know, we talk a lot about healthcare in America today and the cost of healthcare and what it's doing to us. It's driving the economy. But one of the things that we don't talk about with respect to healthcare is the hidden costs of hunger. In fact, it's an epidemic. This is the one epidemic, though, that we don't seem to have we don't focus in on. We ought to.
But let me put an exclamation point by this. An 80% increase in the number of seniors experiencing hunger in America between 2001 and 2010. What happened?
Well, the economy is tanked. We know that. I mean,
So is this driven principally by the economy?
I'm not sure. I don't know that in particular. But certainly when the economy is poor as it is, there are so many implications of that, not just the question of those people being hungry, but the cost of food, the cost of fuel, to get the food to people, to deliver those meals, to get the food to the stores. I mean, it's cyclical. I mean, what we're finding is that the healthcare continuum, this is a life cycle issue. Getting back to a thing we talked about before about education, so much of this, so many things we cannot change. I can't change your race. I can't change where you're from. I can't change your age. I can change your education. If we educate people, if we start young, we can carry it through. We need to do that.
Lisa, let's talk. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted to mention it's true that education is so important, and you were asking who provides it, and I'm saying the dietitian is the best person to provide that. However, if you have a person that doesn't have enough money, resources, and they have to make a decision between having their medication and having food, they're going to go for medication. They have to pay for their rent. They will, cut on food intake. And so all of this, plays into exactly the scenario that you just presented.
Something you said earlier is really interesting, because you said as we age, we need more fresh fruits and fresh vegetables. And some of these are more expensive foods than the junk foods that are not going to give us the nutritional values that we need even more as we age. Let's talk about some of these causes. Let's talk about mobility for a minute. And mobility can mean driving to the store. It can mean walking across to the kitchen cabinet and reaching up and opening a jar that may be hard to open.
That's right, at all different levels. And obviously, as we age, our mobility decreases. And of course, if there's hunger involved, that can lead to limited mobility due to problems like falls or muscle wasting kinds of issues. And in terms of getting to the store and so forth, some people may have vision issues in which they might not be able to drive a car or feel comfortable driving a car. So then you've got the access issue. Maybe you have to take public transportation. But public transportation systems aren't necessarily that helpful.
Does the research show as well that this is a bigger problem with people who are living alone as opposed to people who are living with a partner?
There is some mixed information. It really depends who are these people who are living alone. If they are living alone and they are isolated and are unable to go out, then it is a major problem. But people who live alone and who can and have social contact, so it's really more the social contact, it's more the mobility, it's more the support that you have from family and friends, which is what brings me to the other issue of community. And what is important is to have the community bind together, because there's issues also of walkability. There's issues of the environment that may not be conducive for people to go out, safety, all of this. So really, a solution might be for all social support system and the community to work together in order to provide all of the needs of people. So when we're looking at an individual, it is so heterogeneous, we need to look at what is the underlying cause. Is it economic? Is it social? Is it, and all is together, and all is something that may be community together.
All right, I want to ask one last question on community before we have to go to a break, and this is going to have to be short, and we'll come back to it later. Enid, this is a real case. Down the street from me, where I live, a few doors down, is an older woman who looks positively emaciated. I don't know her. What should I do?
Call your local Meals on Wheels program. They're the first line of defense. Call them. They're there. They're a great program. They're there to help. I think if people understood that there is help out there, that we are all in this together, it's good. Nadine talks about community. Community is important. We've got to muster all of our forces to get the community, though, involved. It's easier to say it than it is to do it, but I think we can do it. But call your Meals on Wheels program. They'll help her.